Okay. Hebrews chapter 11, verses 27, 28, and 29. Now, these verses cover additional actions of faith by Moses. I'm going to go through them one verse at a time. Verse 27, by faith he left Egypt, not being afraid of the anger of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible. Moses left Egypt 2 times. The first time was as a criminal. That's recorded in Exodus chapter 2. The second time was as the commander chosen by God to humble the king of Egypt, who we call the Pharaoh, and to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. And that story is recorded beginning in Exodus chapter 3 and culminating with the crossing the Red Sea in Exodus chapter 15. Now, the second time, he wasn't afraid of the wrath of the king. Why? Well, because he had seen, he had spoken with, and he believed the God who was unseen to others. Now, verse 28. By faith, he kept the Passover and sprinkled the blood so that the destroyer of the firstborn might not touch him. Now, Moses' return to Egypt was an act of faith in itself. Holding the Passover, the very first Passover, was another act of faith. And the firstborn referred to here, these are the firstborn of the Israelites. Now, verse 29. By faith, the people crossed the Red Sea as on dry land, but the Egyptians, when they attempted to do the same, were drowned. Now, wait a minute. Whose faith is this here anyway? The Israelites, if you read the verses in chapter 14 of Exodus, it doesn't sound like they have very much faith there. Who went down to the water's edge first? It was Moses, right? Okay, and what did he do there? Exactly what God told him to do. So, another act, or more acts of faith, because he believed God. The Israelites aren't mentioned as being believers of God until after the miracle occurred and after they had seen the Egyptian dead washed up on the shore of the Red Sea. That's recorded in Exodus chapter 14, verses 30 and 31. Now, to sum this up, this passage tells us not only about the acts of faith by Moses, but also the source of it. Moses had a very close relationship with God. In Exodus chapters 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 all mention different tasks that God told Moses about. And in every task, Moses went directly from God's presence and did the task, and no task ever defeated him. Here's our takeaway. What about us? Do we often fail at our task because of our relying on our own intelligence and our own strength and our own understanding and our own experience? Or do we go to God first? The secret to victorious living as a Christian is to seek God first, spend time with him, and then go out and do the task that you believe he's assigned to you. I hope today's been educational. Thank you.